Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we had another successful run going through the underworld, and that means we are drawing closer to reaching the new true ending. We did take the aspect of Selene on the black coat, and that meant that we were actually able to get Ares and get the final missing duo hex boon that we needed for prophecy completion purposes. So we have now checked that one off, in addition to, I think, one other relatively minor prophecy as well on the previous run. Bonus bones weapon this time would be the axe. It does feel like we've used that somewhat recently, so I'm a little surprised to see that. But I think the aspect we've gone the longest without using is the aspect of Moonaway. Now, once upon a time, I really did not like this aspect. It was before we'd really upgraded it much at all, but just felt like it was slow and didn't have enough other things going for it to make up for that lack of speed. But now it does hit harder, and it does give us a lot of extra max life to start off with, now that we have upgraded it all the way. So I do feel a little bit better about that, and in general, I think we've gotten a lot more practice with the axes, whatever aspect it may be. As for here, I believe we do still have Fate's Whim Arcana cards set and ready to go, so that has more or less become our default as of late, and it has been working quite well. Don't think we're going to go with any fear this time round, as
Do not avert your gaze.
I mean, technically if we were to do 12 against Skilla, we would be able to get some Nightmare, although we're getting very close to not really needing any more Nightmare. So I think we are going to continue to just try to focus on getting runs done as efficiently as possible and make sure that we can make progress toward that new true ending. So that being said, given how we also just checked off some additional prophecies, don't know that there's that much else we can go out of our way to try to set up here, other than we did also seemingly progress the subplot line with Arachne, so maybe if we do see her, we'll try to go out of our way to make sure we can pay her a visit. As for the familiar, I do like Golly in general, probably my favorite familiar, but also especially with this weapon aspect, or this weapon in general. Overall, the axe, because it's so slow. So that way we can get some blocks in case we get ourselves in trouble.
I'll get you, Kronos.
Okay, it does feel like, as we are once again getting not only the extra levels on our boons from this jeweled palm, but also the free Hades boon. I'm pretty sure we got this one last time, the Gigaros Dash, and it seems like it is, for whatever reason, the one that we get most often by a pretty wide margin at that. Maybe it's just because I was just recording the other video earlier today, but it's the one that gives us this little sweeping circle around us when we dash. It's Athena here. Or rather, Hera. I remember what the symbols are, I swear.
I'd far prefer it to all my other obligations put together, let me tell you.
Don't tell Hera that I said she was Athena. Let's see, and then I got all distracted. Your descent into the underworld has only begun, but I would join you. The very... you sure it's only just begun? Because I would argue we are closer to the end than we are to the beginning at this point. Far preferred all to my other obligations put together, let me tell you. I guess that conversation was just way back in the queue, so it took us a long time to see it. Okay, I think we might just go for rarity here. Take the special? Sure, I guess. There we go. Okay. Nothing else here. Carrying on. Was nice to... Oh. Theoretically, get you immediately... I tried to do... Yeah, you could see I was in the process of using the cast, but I wasn't quite quick enough. And that's probably going to be the case a lot with, well, everything other than the cast. The cast is the usual speed, but the attack is not. Okay, so now I guess we're upgrading this. Now, of course, getting Hera early means we will be on the lookout for Hera plus Zeus synergies. Their duo boons being potentially incredibly good. Preempted on that one. Ooh, careful. The dash does help us a bit with our lack of speed. It does give us a little bit of damage in a pinch. It's not enough to one-shot the enemies, so it's not really gonna get us out of horrible positions, but okay. I think we're going for as many boons as we can, especially since we got the extra starting life from this aspect. those guys are not able to do much when you freeze them in place with the cast.
The god of war.
Word reached us that you defeated the Titan of Time last night, and we were most impressed. But I was left to wonder whether he experienced the throes of agony before the end. Perhaps he eventually can be dissuaded thus.
Okay, it's pretty brutal. Let's see, we can get the cast. It's a lot of damage. Wow. Oh, gain damage. Chance to do double damage based on how much life we've lost. I do like this one conceptually quite a bit. It doesn't get the levels from our keepsake, which is a little unfortunate, but epic rarity with the extra starting life we got from the aspect. Obviously, we've already passed on a little bit of max life, but I'm intrigued.
Blood.
I'm intrigued. Oh, and then we can combine him with Selene, of course, this time. We won't be able to do the specific duo hex, as that requires the hex that only becomes available from the aspect of Selene weapon. Okay, yes, moving faster would be kind of nice, and it only costs 10, but at this point I think we're still probably saving. And, you know, I think we might actually pass on the hex here. We don't need it for prophecy completion purposes, and the reason why we benefit more than usual from the gold is the keepsake. If we can use our gold to get more items than we would otherwise typically be able to get in shops, then that means we get more value from keepsake. Ooh, I wasn't sure if I was still in range of that or not. Just trying to dash out of it a bit. Yeah, if this means we can pick up one extra boon from shops, then that's one more boon to get extra levels on. And more Ares, this time mini-boss, and higher rarity for that reason. See which mini-boss it is. It's this guy. I feel like that might be the best one for the axe. So we're slow, but we do have a lot of damage potential in bursts. However, it does make sense to take those guys out first. Really? What was that hit us? Did he crave brambles directly on top of him and immediately hit us with it? Because that's frustrating, if that is in fact the case. That has happened to us before. I'm surprised that did not hit us. We'll do this, because it's our fastest, and also has a boom.
We'll have to do this again. Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, let's see. Get an attack boon. Oh, right, I forgot. Yeah, so that's Hitch. Okay. Because we did have a somewhat Ares-centric run last time round, and leaning more toward wounds, which was really not something we had prioritized in the past. So, maybe a little intrigued. We didn't go quite as far as we could have gone on that front, but maybe we make a little bit of a point of doing that here, of course, given the opportunity. Well, I thought there was going to be a special encounter in here, because it seemed like there was just a little pause before any enemies showed up. Usually is the case when you have someone like Nemesis, or even, I guess not Artemis. Ooh, don't get stuck there. But would have liked the train kill on these guys. Well, that shield is quite useful as well. Okay, out of curiosity, it is max life. That is kind of nice. I don't know how feasible that's going to be. But yeah, taking the extra gold in that previous room means we can take on an optional shop rather than getting that, which is probably not going to be that useful for us. Not confident in this, but I'm going to give it a shot just because of the potential upside. Nope. Stop that. Stop that. Ooh, that's not where I wanted that to hit. Nice.
We are as shadows.
Okay, so this, you can kind of think of that as making up for the life room that we had to skip previously. I think that was the one that gave us the Ares boon, so wouldn't have been able to get them both together anyway. Here we are. Oh, multiple things here. Just make sure no one's about to steal stuff from us. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe I'll take this first. It can't be upgraded by the palm slice, nor can this. So one way or another, the sequencing doesn't matter. It's going to hit one of these guys, and it hits the special. I was about to say attack. No, that's the special. Okay. And let's do this.
In the name of Hades.
This unfortunately cannot be leveled up, which means it does not benefit from you after all, although there may still be some things that are quite useful here. Do more damage based on how many enemies we've taken out recently. Obviously, at only common rarity, it's not that good, and our weapon is slow, but we can potentially take multiple people out with one hit. So there's still something to be said for that. This defensively, obviously, is pretty nice, but maybe we take this and go Narcissus Keepsake at some point. I don't know if it's important enough to warrant that. May not be, but
Which water
let's get the fish.
denizen is she to find?
Got a bite.
This one.
I got a soul belly?
I think that is the rarest one you can get on this floor, at least.
Good find.
Some of this. I think we're passing on that. Okay, now this is the tricky part. In a vacuum, you'd usually say hammer over other boons. However, given that that boon is getting +3 levels, you actually could make a pretty strong case that this is better. I think that we've already gotten all the hammer upgrades for prophecy completion purposes, so I think I am gonna go for
Be
this.
safe, Lord Count.
As I was kind of saying before, I think we're gonna go out of our way to a certain extent, trying to get as many boons as possible. I think someone did hit me there. And this.
Been counting on you, little niece, but still, I'd not expected you could take on Kronos and prevail. I thought at best you'd keep him busy for a while. You must be very strong, like me.
Thanks, Poseidon. I think we have heard this one before. Let's see if we can get his sprint. I am a fan of his sprint. Although the earlier you get C star, the better it is. So I think we claim it here, because it is still a good time to nab that.
Get that, Golly.
Ooh,
Good job.
this is tough. But hold on just a second, because we do have this to consider. Healing, we did take a tiny bit of damage, but I think we're fine there. Definitely don't need that. Charge moves deal extra damage. Not really necessary. Okay, so now, given what I was saying before, yes, I do think there's something to be said for going to Arachne so we can potentially progress her subplot, her side quest, if you will. On the other hand, if we're trying to maximize the number of boons we get for this run specifically, this is obviously far and away the best thing we could do. But at the end of the day, it's still a zero fear run. So although it'd be nice to make the run as powerful as possible, I think maybe thinking bigger picture, longer term is maybe a better thing to do.
Truly you. Golly, fetch. Nicely done. Good job.
Lots of things to pick up here. Wait, that's not how the Poseidon boon works, does it? Whenever you claim rewards, a copy may appear. Yeah, no, it's not the amount that appear on the ground. It's more like you pick up the gold at the end of an encounter and sometimes it duplicates itself, or the max life. And we've seen that many times before, but it's just, given how many things there were just then, it made me second guess for a second. I should have noticed this before, but I don't think I ever did. Maybe these weren't here previously. They probably were, and I just didn't really take notice, but she has all of her silks, all of her dresses, really, hung up here, which is cool.
There must be something I can do to repay you for all your hard work. We live modestly in the crossroads, though we're not without our sources of supplies. Whatever you need, name it.
Now, granted, at least initially, this does not immediately scream, hey, this has to do with Arachne's side quest slash subplot. So if this conversation does not progress that, then I'm going to be a little frustrated, given how good of a room we passed up to go here.
Well, that's rather forward of you, my friend, and I appreciate it, truly. Whatever I need, huh? I'll have to give a little thought to that. But right now, I need for you to decide which of these dresses you like and try it on.
Okay. Now, it could be that in order to progress her side quest, we actually, the next thing is we need to talk to Athena. Because a while back, we thought that might have been the case, and we forced Athena to show up here on this very floor, which that aspect may or may not be necessary. It may be that any Athena encounter anywhere is sufficient, but the timing seemingly did not matter at that point. It might be important now. Okay, so we can get extra cast damage. used less magic before we recharge our Hex. Our Hex does not currently exist. Okay, all of these are pretty useless for us. We aren't, I mean, theoretically, yes, this is doing something. Our cast does not really have damage right now. I think we might just take the one that has the most armor.
Wonderful.
Okay, and then I think we will definitely take the max life, especially if it does happen to get duplicated.
On spinning.
Whoop. I totally kind of forgot that you were still going to be able to hit me there. Chaos. Timing is not perfect, but we'll probably still take it. We do this. Yeah, that still has enough range. Okay. That's really what I should be doing for long range situations. Okay, and now this would be the penultimate room, I'm pretty sure. So we know whatever the downside is to this Chaos Boon, it's going to be active.
I'm ready.
For the boss fight. There's a fishing spot. There's also a golden urn there. I feel like this dash is going to make it easier to get those golden urns, even some that we might have otherwise not even noticed were there.
Let's fish.
Indeed.
On the hook.
There we go.
This is a void skate.
I think that's another one of the rare ones. Getting some good ones this time round. Obviously, the value of the fish, I think, depends largely on which floor it's appearing on, but there's a different tier. I think there are 3 for each floor of various rarities, which may or may not have something to do with how quickly you respond to the quick time event.
The waters that he claims are his. They were among the first of my creations, and turned out rather well, I think. I wonder if he comprehends the extent of the power they conceal.
I like how Chaos is basically going, yeah, hey, you know, the whole thing that he thinks he's god of, yeah, I made it. Okay. If we use casts, we take damage. Afterward, we get a bunch of boons, or at least the elementals, whatever you want to call them, which makes infusions more effective, but that is not going to give us anything directly unless and until we actually see those infusions show up. Move and sprint 20% faster, but limited to common blessings. It's only 2 boons. Wow, that's very minor downside. Location rewards are hidden. Afterward, our channel moves are faster. I think I'm going to go with this. The sprint speed is kind of nice, and we can potentially, if there are 2 boons in this shop, which is possible, then we might be able to have this evolve immediately, which would be kind of nice. Definitely take this. Right? I might take this first, though. Sea Star gets upgraded, and that honestly was in large part why I wanted to do it, to make this a little more likely to proc.
Hear me on my authority.
Okay, so we know this is going to be all common, no matter what. But at least it's still level 4 from our keepsake. So we can get the cast. We did not take the Chaos Boon that makes us take damage when we cast, so that's okay. Make our sprint. Ooh, that could be good with the extra speed we're going to pick up quite soon. Especially because otherwise this one, maybe the biggest downside to it is that it does not give you speed. But it does give you quite good damage. Ideally, of course, with a higher rarity, but I do like that one as well. But again, this one in particular, the rarity is pretty important. So go for this. And I think we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Fire steps. Cool stuff. Let's head on in for the Hecate fight.
Still at full strength.
Oh, indeed.
Our enemy surely is beginning to wonder how you are able to thwart him. Do leave him in the dark. The less he knows of us, the better.
We've been seeing more of these types of Chronos strategy conversations when we're fighting Hecate, which is cool. There isn't a lot of depth to this one. Not really diving into any new ideas at all, but still.
Kronos seems to think my family bond with him is why I'm able to resist. He hasn't made the connection that you're the one who's prepared me.
We may have actually heard this one before. This sounds vaguely familiar.
You have prepared yourself. 'Tis good that you are drawing his attention and his wrath whilst I remain unseen. We slowly undermine his strength, and through our efforts, buy your mountain relatives more time.
If we did hear this part, though, then that is interesting, because it does shed some light on something that we haven't really focused that much on. I guess some people have mentioned it in passing, but by us fighting Kronos, we make it easier for the other gods and goddesses, especially those on Olympus, to fend off Kronos. I mean, obviously, he's not directly fighting them in that case, or his forces. I think we've heard that more so when it comes to Typhon. So slow, I could not dodge that in time. Oh. Okay. And I remember, yeah, there's at least one time where we had her do this in this phase, which is pretty rare, and she just blasted us immediately with it. I could kind of tell that there was a little bit of a preview of what direction she's going to do it in before she actually initiates it. I mistimed that. And certainly mistimed that as well. Last time, I remember we... Oh, ow. Okay. Remember that is going to be the thing that she does. But last time... Okay, maybe we just get stuck longer when we're in pig form than we are in rat form. But, yeah, you can sort of see a little preview of where those are going to go before they actually spawn in. There we go. Just not going to try to do things that require a little more speed than we realistically have at this point. And you're going to do this. Because this angle is pretty good to hit you from.
That's quite enough.
I passed the test.
We have indeed passed that test. Okay, it doesn't seem like anything else in here. Oh, some smack talk. Oh, is he commenting on how there's now more stuff over here? There's a little bit of a tighter squeeze now, but it's been a little while since he last had any trash talk
I
for
would
us.
be more concerned with that which now transpires on Olympus, were I you. I hear Typhon is rather upset.
We've done several Underworld runs in a row now. I wonder if that's why he's saying this? Oh, maybe. Okay, so we could take the calling card, which obviously is the other big Fate Swim keepsake, and it is quite good, especially if you take it early on, because you could use it even on later floors. However, we were saying maybe we would even consider doing this to rarefy. It would be the dash that we got. I don't know that that's important enough. Yes, it obviously would give us more damage, but I feel like this is probably going to be a bigger deal. Well, let's stick with this.
Set.
We do that. Already on almost 200 life, which is pretty insane. Sacrifice boon to switch who the boon giver is and also increase the level. That's... can't happen on either of these, but it could happen on any of these guys. That's kind of intriguing. Not sure that I'm absolutely sold on any of these varieties of attack, special, or dash boons. This is probably my favorite of all of them, except it's the lowest rarity, so I'm the least attached to it for that reason. Speaking of which, if we really wanted to, we could sell that. Let's do it. See what it gives us. Oh, hello.
Look upon me.
Should be a slow one, given how few of these there are. There we are. It gives us the equivalent of an air boon. I think we're ready to go now. And remember, we need one more boon, which will be common, guaranteed, before the Chaos boon evolves, giving us extra speed. Oh, for a second, I walked up to this edge right here, which blocked me. And for a second, I thought that something was happening in here, and that's why the game had sort of frozen. I was like, oh, is someone spawning in here to give us a dramatic speech or lecture? No, it was just me. Just me. Okay, now, admittedly, as I mentioned in passing earlier, I was just recording the previous run not that long ago, and we had a really strong damage and crowd control as well, if I remember correctly, cast. And so now in the back of my mind, I have to override the thought of, oh, just drop the cast and everything is safe. I mean, yes, it does still help a little bit, but not to the same extent that it did last time around. Okay, this is a palm slice that we get from you. So I think we'll probably take you for that reason. And also, we just generally do like to get the palms, or the, rather the nectars, because we took a little while to start focusing on that stuff. Okay, so see what this levels up. The answer is the dash. And, oh right, now you real quick.
Thanks, little one.
Okay, so then this is interesting because you can't get leveled. So we don't benefit that much from you. What's that icon above our head? This? Oh, I totally did not remember that this makes enemies take more damage from attacks and specials. I did not remember that. Okay, good to know. We don't have a ton of gold, so this is an optional mid-floor shop. And if we spend aggressively here, then it's going to be a little bit hard to spend aggressively in the final room, but maybe we have just enough gold to do that. Otherwise, of course, you can do that. I think it's still, even if we can't, even if we cannot level this up, still a pretty early Hermes, and I do think Hermes is one of, if not the best people to have a boon from in the early stages. Huh? Oh, reveal.
I'm getting out of here.
What witchery is
I don't remember
this?
that it worked quite like that. That was close. Excuse me. Oh, that was... Well... Ow. Getting by the bomb he dropped at the very end when he went down, I think so. Those guys do that. Oh gosh, I was trying to dodge out of one of those things. And I just dodged into a different head. It's really didn't work out. Wow, this is not going well.
There goes Arachne's suit.
Yep. Okay, well, I mean, it wasn't really doing anything for us in the first place. There we go. Okay.
So what if you withstood all that?
I didn't realize that we had little semi-transparent image of Kronos on the screen when he's trash-talking us in this encounter. Also, I'm surprised that we got an update of some variety from, I assume, being in this room. We've been here several times before. Obviously, it's somewhat rare, but still.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, so this is the common rarity one, but we can rarify it, so we can make up for that. Let's see what the options are, though. Dash more frequently, range attacks are slower, charge moves are faster. I mean, we don't have a lot of base speed to work with, so we can try to make up for that a little bit. Just don't know that the dash frequency is that noticeable to me. Maybe it's you defensively, and now we become faster because the Chaos Boon just evolved, and we could have rarefied that, but it just didn't feel like it was important enough to be worthwhile. Also, I did not realize we were going straight into this, and I was not ready, especially because this is a mini-boss. And I've talked several times about what I think is the most difficult of the mini-bosses on this floor. Not this guy, I think the octopus guy is the most challenging. I think this guy might be the easiest, but then, of course, By saying this, I've now jinxed it, which is why I didn't really want to say that. This. Remember. Oh, that was close. If we do that, theoretically he started taking more damage from attacks, which is nice, and now you are armorless, which means we can theoretically stun lock you. Probably easier to do like this. There we go. Okay, it's Poseidon.
Pray.
Sure.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see. Oh, right, so the sacrifice is going to turn into Poseidon's Sprint. It increases the rarity, and it also... And we can rarefy it. Oh, that's a workaround. Interesting. I do like the Poseidon Sprint a lot, and if we rarefy this up to the max rarity on level 7, it could be really good. Oh, this is so good when combined with Sea Star. We've done it many times before, but it is very hard to turn that down, even if this is really tempting as well. I mean, it would be a fun gimmick for just kind of like there was a Chaos Trial that showed me just how powerful his dash can be. So kind of trying to recreate it in that way, but this is more so... Well, I don't know. I mean, we have done this. Would love to see the Echo keepsake, so we can take both of these right now. But I think I'm gonna take Buried Treasure. I'm sorry.
Good.
All for you. How about 2?
But there you go. Sea Star proccing immediately on this stuff, and proccing here as well, and suddenly we are rich. And suddenly we benefit a lot from all these types of rooms as well. Which, yeah, I suppose is another way to make this run helpful beyond just the run itself. You know, given how, like we were saying earlier, hey, it's just a zero fear run. Shouldn't really have to be too concerned about setting ourselves up for success on this run itself. Are there any other things we can do, though, to benefit us even after the run is up? And wow, that's a lot of bones right there. And bones are definitely more useful to us than these are, the ashes. So I feel like we're gonna do this
Worth a shot.
and see if we can get more of the bones, or the other thing would likely be... the other thing would likely be a nectar, which I would also probably take, but it's bones, that's fine.
Lurkers.
Wow, that's fast. There we go. We have already gotten a humongous amount. That stuff. Wait a second while we check this, because we, at this point, can basically spend as much as we want. I mean, this is helpful, I guess, although probably unnecessary. Might as well take that while we're at it. Oh, I did not see this. Sure. I would love if this one were to go as quickly as the starting encounter went. Please don't run away. Okay, not bad. Honestly, I think the longest time was just waiting for that last enemy to actually die. But that has functionally paid off what we bought here, or technically it costs a little more than that, but still. Okay, I think we're... Technically, this can get duplicated, whereas this cannot, but I still think we're probably going here. Ooh, hold on. Oh, again, I didn't remember. This is our range option. Gonna take you out? I think it did. That was unnecessary. Oh, hold on. Nah, that's unfortunate timing. That's very unfortunate timing. Well, the more damage we take, the more probability we have of doing double damage with the Ares boon we got a while back. So it's actually not bad if we end up taking a fair bit of damage. And given how much life we have, it's still way more than we would usually have at this point of the game. Okay, so we don't have a cast boon. It would be nice to have a cast boon. Charge moves make us briefly restore... Oh, that's the magic restoration one. Start of encounters, we have extra damage for 10 seconds. I kind of like this, because... Especially, what was it, the previous room, where we just almost immediately deleted everything? That'd be kind of nice. Do stuff like that. We could rarefy it further. I still don't know that that's the highest priority to do it on that, though. Okay, now, is this the penultimate room? I think it is, which means... Yes, free Hestia. I think that's the worst option, because, as I was saying before, money is not really an obstacle at this stage, so we can go here and buy everything, which is hopefully at least a boon, if not more than that. The case for this is we can potentially get 2 of these from C-Star, but I think, can that proc on the shops? I don't remember, but I think we're still going to go here. The upside is probably still the highest. Oh, wow. That is a lot of stuff.
Go for it, Golly.
Take this.
Appreciate the help.
And then I think we'll still start with the... Oh, right. Stuff is cheaper. That's also absolutely a reason for going here. Again, even if money is not a huge obstacle. Do this first, and it upgrades C-Star. Again, at this stage, still useful to upgrade that, although by the time we get to the next floor, it's probably entering the time where we'd rather see other things get upgraded. We take you.
On my authority.
And... Okay, I think we will probably rarefy whatever we get here. Just bump it up to highest possible one. Get magic restoration here. Yeah, sure. I mean, I am a fan of this, as I think I was saying in the previous run. Especially we can combine it with the other plasma boon. There are actually multiple. There are 2 more plasma boons from Ares. I had forgotten about one of them, / had only very rarely seen it. As for you, attack has way more power, but it's really slow in this case. I remember that. Not a big fan of that. Charge attack fires around you, leaving you free to move and strike at the same time. Kind of interesting. Oh, these are all attack-based. Attacks have +10 power, and we take -20% damage when using them. So this one's the most straightforward. This one seems great, but I remember it is not really as good as it seems, or at least it comes with a significant catch. This one probably might have the most upside, but it's also a little bit tricky to use it. So, and I haven't really been using charged attacks. I think I might just go with the basic one.
Feels even sturdier.
Okay. Now let's head on in.
Look, everyone! I'd love to drag you to the bottom of the sea, but we're already here.
Thanks. Oh, I see. Excuse me. Has to get, yeah, go down soon. Yeah, that's just a stun. Annoying though it might be. Trying to get the curse on you. Oh, did not really want a dash strike on that occasion. There we go. One moment. That's a chunky attack. I think I'm still gonna ignore you, to be honest with you. Sort of. Oop, again, the dash strike is causing me to go in places where I don't really want to go. Please don't do that to me when I'm trying to hit all of you at the same time. We got the drummer down. I think you're not far away, to be honest. Oh, she just barely created any area of effect with that. That was very confusing. Okay, you're gonna shoot a whole bunch of projectiles when you pop up. There we are. The steam complicated that a little bit. Doing that immediately. Wow. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do this now. She is useful for fending off the fishies. There we go. Alright.
gemstones.
Those. I think we're good to go now. So now we've done all the Fate's Whim keepsake stuff that we want to do. What do we want for our next keepsake in that case? I thought there was at least one thing we were considering. I know at one point we were saying maybe this, though I don't really think that's necessary. Is there something else we really wanted to get? Is this worth... Oh, no, that's still worth the same amount. Okay. We could do this, and it would last for at least some of the final floor, maybe even all of it. And that's really the ideal use case for this once you've ranked it up high enough that the encounter number is 15, or I assume it probably gets up to 20 if you get the max level. So maybe we'll use this as an opportunity to rank that up a little bit. And the one we got... Not this one... Where is it? Huh? Oh, it's down here. Attack is 30% faster? That's really nice. Okay. Definitely take that. And I don't think we've done this yet, so do it now. These, I think, are technically still cheaper. But we don't really need any of them. And then... we could sell this, because I don't know that it's going to be... Well, it's still helpful, I guess, even if it's not a dramatic improvement. Doesn't give us much money to sell it. Okay. Onward we go. And, okay. Not a bad room.
Miasma.
Lots of hammer upgrades already. Where's the tree? This can be duplicated, and it will be. So that's actually worth a whole lot. Wow. Oh, got that while we're at it. There's the life. This can be duplicated, and it will be. That was all the way over here. This can be duplicated, and it will. Sea Star is... we've upgraded it a few times, but it's still only a 55% chance of proccing, and pretty sure we just got it, what, 3 times in a row? So, statistically speaking, that was very unlikely to happen, and it was, for the most part, on relatively minor things. Would rather see it proc on this full-blown life upgrade. We may have used up all of our luck, though. I could tell there's something going on. There's a little visual effect.
One of us gets richer and one of us gets poorer.
All right.
Let's get started.
Probably would prefer
Come on then.
no. To have seen this a little bit later. Does this count? I don't know if it does. I don't think it does.
Not now.
Oh, I think she got that.
All right. I lost. I won.
All right. More monies for us. I'm not really sure that we needed it all that much. This, okay, see, that one doesn't get duplicated, and that would have been more meaningful. It's worth more. I didn't even see this showing up, despite us having already clicked on the bow. And then this gets duplicated. So yeah, I don't know, actually. There's a chance that it has a higher... the 55% might not be... it might be more complicated than that. It might actually have a higher chance to proc on smaller things and a lower chance to proc on bigger things. I have no idea. It's just that it's odd. Obviously, it's possible, but it's possible that that was just a coincidence, but it is odd that it just procced on multiple small things in a row and didn't proc on the big thing. Speaking of big things, this could be big for us. Who's left? A lot of these guys is the answer.
Be again at peace.
Okay, so I would like to go with attack stuff, given how much attack synergy stuff we already have. And we turned this down before, but technically, I think it would still work with this. And probably... Does that mean it also charges up more quickly? Or does it mean the animation, once we've done the charged attack, is going more quickly, so the damage per second goes up? I don't know. Well, I mean, that does channel it faster this way. Oh, no, actually, I don't think this is the one that we saw before. It's also something that is based on the channeled attack, charged attack, but
It's rather heavy
it's a little
still.
different, actually. That's all right. We'll take it. Now, mini-boss... Athena? No. Hera? Or is it... Two things that can get duplicated? Oh, I didn't even see this. I mean, sure, we'll try. I don't know that it's gonna work, but... Okay, those guys are kind of nasty for avoiding hits. Ooh, that was close. Charge special definitely does work well for this. There we go. Look at that.
Queen.
Okay. So, is it too late to upgrade Sea Star? I mean, we could. It's already given us very good value. Sure.
Yes.
And that's in part why. Okay, I mean... I don't like upgrading this very much. This is somewhat meaningful. I kind of forgot about this, to be honest. It probably was helping against Nemesis, and I didn't even realize it. I'm doing it, though. I'm doing it. It can only proc at most once per item, so wasn't gonna just turn that into an infinite loop. Tempting or awesome, though that may have been. Okay, so we benefited from that. Nice little bonus. And maybe that's all the more reason to go this route, since we benefit even more from this, although... Let's do this. I think we'll still have plenty of opportunity to get the monies. Oh, that's a lot of enemies in here. Also, please don't teleport next to me when I'm trying to focus on all the other guys. This guy is kind of fast. There's a bit of a problem for us, potentially. I must note. Okay, ooh, I thought he was going to do the vacuum cleaner attack, which I'm pretty sure, yep, he's doing now. Ow. He does leech life if he does hit us, which is why it is especially significant if he does manage to do that. Yup, I knew that was coming. Yes, dodging away is technically not the correct answer. Should do is side dodge. There we go. Okay.
They won't be gone
Not
for
too
long.
bad.
Golly, fetch. Why, thank you.
And then you.
In the name of Hades.
We do have at least 2 of everything, which means this would upgrade you, and it would also upgrade our dash. And all future boons are at least rarity, which is kind of nice. Itch effects do more damage, last longer. Yeah, I think we take it.
A boon awakened.
It does improve 2 boons. That's something. Even if those weren't major boons. The other reason why I went here was because by this being a one encounter room, which is somewhat rare on this floor, it seemed likely that that was gonna lead to you, Echo, showing up at some point. Ooh. Another thing that showed up is this.
Here, fishy.
I think we've gotten a lot of fishies already.
To me. It'll be okay, Anguish.
Don't worry, Anguish. Everything's gonna be alright.
You alright? Alright. Alright. Alright.
Let's see. Choose one of 3 boons from the previous night. Next purchase Charon, getting another copy at no charge. I don't know that that's all that necessary at this stage, even if it does technically mean we get to buy a bunch more things. It does mean that we get 1 more boon, likely, to benefit from the jeweled palm. So technically it is nice, but I mean, that's also the case here. So probably would go boon, boon, boon. Otherwise, this is also really good. Especially when we are big and slow with the axe, and it would help to cover for what would otherwise be a bit of a weakness of ours. So I think I'm gonna go with this stuff. A little more excited.
Farewell, Echo. Farewell. Farewell. Farewell.
That works. Especially if we actually get a cast spoon. But I think I would lean this way, because this, when we have no cast boon at all, does not make a lot of sense, even if it is obviously higher rarity. We are not allowed to rarefy here, somewhat interestingly. Okay. So obviously gold, which can get duplicated, and same with the palm. And we know it's, even if it isn't duplicated, it's still worth more, that gold. Whereas here, the life can get duplicated. That's the only thing, and then we're looking at more boons. I think we'll probably still go this route, to be honest.
Best stay out of
I
its
heard
way.
you. Ooh, I was really hoping I was going to get rid of your armor, though. Yeah, do all enemies drop more gold as well? They might, in which case that alone is going to be enough to make a pretty big difference for us. And since we are now post-Echo, as I always say, means we don't really care about the order of stuff from that standpoint. Does Poseidon have anything else that can... He has... Do you have anything that further synergizes with our resource gathering stuff? I don't know that he does. Yeah, so I think we can... We'll take it first just in case, but... Ah.
My cans.
My cans, indeed. Oh, I was trying to charge up the charge attack and nothing happened. That was really weird. Yeah, that's really annoying. I was hoping that dash alone would be enough. Not quite. Okay, that was not a great encounter.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Charge moves launch a wide wave, and if we do use the charge attack, which technically we have a lot of ways to, that we've already improved upon it, that'd be nice. There's also, I think we'll probably go for this. And I guess we did use a little bit of a rarefication, but still have a ways to go there. And we have the final floor. We can always spend our rarifications aggressively there. We do also very much want to have a cast. I don't know that this is necessarily the one that we're looking for, especially when it is the lowest rarity option that we have at the moment. I think I'm still going to take this. I'm going to rarify once, and I'm going to take this.
2 to go?
Yeah, I guess we took damage, and we should be able to heal off pretty easily using that. I did deliberately save. Again, keep getting bonuses on the small stuff, although that's... What was that? 45 each for a total of 90, or were those 90 individually? Because I saw 90 out of the corner of my eye there, and that is a lot. It's almost as much as a full-blown boon would typically be.
Fast, my foes.
Yeah, remember, we have the bonus damage at the beginning, so we do want to be quick. We also have the chance of double damage, which, when combined with those other things, is really good. Kind of waited on the thing that I was most interested in hitting.
In the name of Hades.
Ooh. Whenever you exit the location... Oh, we have seen this. Who is this a duo with? Is it Hera? We've had this at least once before, and this was a boon we really wanted to see last time, but it never showed up. Kind of close to being eligible for it, but not quite yet. I think we will take you.
That's one down.
I do like that one a lot. I like the plasma stuff a lot in general. We haven't necessarily taken every possible... Well, we haven't seen every possible plasma-related boon yet, but that may change. It now means there is additional reason to go out of our way to farm the plasma. Did it? Yep. There's a small one, so you knew it was gonna happen. It's another one of these. We have to wait for that if we want to do it at all. Bonus damage. Try to take advantage of it here, especially with you because you're annoying. So are these guys, but they're weaker, theoretically. There we go.
It's done.
Okay, so now we do this. Okay, that gives us the bonus. And now we have a lot of extra life. So I'm gonna try this.
If you can.
Oh, that's a nasty one for this type of encounter. And you spawning directly on top of me is also pretty mean. Where did this guy come from? What the heck? What? What gives? There's way more enemies than we're supposed to have in this encounter. Ooh, I almost walked into that. Technically, you can run into this. It'll make you take more damage, which is nice. This guy, though, we can only... Oh, the one who creates the smoke cloud, we can only hit when we're in the smoke cloud. Okay, hold on. There we go.
I proved myself this time.
Just want to play that one carefully. So yeah, that was a lot... Look at how far we ended up going. There's a lot more enemies than I expected to be there. And it procs again. Okay. Definitely worth it in that case. Obviously easier to say after we've completed it successfully. Okay, now we take you. Oh. Ah, okay. Yes, it is possible to get bonuses of those as well. I mean, we could run around and see if there are any more of the optional enemies for us to fight to see if we can farm even more of the plasma, but I think that's probably overkill. So at this stage, what? This has to be the penultimate room, right? Yeah. So... chance of this proccing multiple times, of course, as we have seen, but chance to buy multiple things here, potentially even including one of those life upgrades. The thing that I would love to see would be the... We don't have Hephaestus precedent, but if we could somehow make Hephaestus show up, getting his boon that gives you extra max life based on how much magic you have, because we have a decent amount of magic as well, and at that point we could be approaching records, our personal record-setting territory, at least for our amount of life, which is especially significant when we have you. We haven't taken any damage, or at least we just healed off all the damage that we took, but that could be very likely to proc double damage, which would be pretty cool.
Let's get you someplace safe.
This one should be pretty quick. Not the quickest, but fairly quick.
See you in the crossroads.
I thought there was one other sound effect suggesting... Ah, yes. You. Okay, and now... Definitely taking... I think we'll take this first. Ocean Swell, that's the Poseidon knockback from or extra damage from charge-up moves. And then definitely taking you, of course. Ah, okay. This is the big one for the plasma-based stuff. It draws to us automatically. We don't need to run around chasing it. And it also is 100% better from a speed standpoint. There is still there's two other ways to get plasma gifting boons. So it is possible to get even more synergies with this, but this is obviously a big deal. And then these would also both be great long term if we can get enough earth boons. We're not yet there, but this does get us closer.
War rages.
Okay, so that's very nice. Okay, Cerberus, remember we have extra damage at the beginning. Which means I want to do this as much as possible. Okay, this was maybe a little greedy. Yeah, even just basic hits can do 1,000 damage, which is kind of insane. Apparently, that is the case. He's going to phase before I get the chance to get all that. Tried, ideally not step into the clouds there. So they are really making a point of hanging out next to each other. Plasma while we're at it. Oh, and we have the boom that keeps some of our plasma in between rooms as well, which is also especially helpful. Ooh, that's not a great combo. Let's make it a little bit hard to know where to go. It does feel like the charged attack, despite it being quick, and despite you thinking that it would be objectively stronger, because it takes time to charge it up, it did seem like the damage per hit was significantly lower, such that it may be better to just do big attacks. Now, I was waiting for him to do the flamethrower attack on several prior occasions, and then he didn't do it until I was really far away and couldn't take advantage of him being stuck in one place for a long time, which is a little disappointing. Oh, okay, hold on. Fine. We'll go this route then. Stop running away, Cerberus. That was interesting. We still saw the curse effect above his head, even after he had gone underground for a second there. Okay, not the fastest Cerberus kill we've ever had, especially as of late. We've had some really fast ones.
And multi-headed Cerberus descends again into the comfort of his pit.
But we'll take it. Didn't take much of any damage, I don't think. Can we get these to proc multiple times? I don't know. But, let's just see. We got quite a bit of plasma from it, and remember, some of that will carry over. And this is lasting for 8 more rooms, which is going to be, if we go straight to Kronos, more than enough time. But if we do certainly all of the side rooms, then we definitely will not still have it. So that's where ranking it up one more time would be nice. Oh, I did not mean to do that immediately. I meant to do this immediately, but I don't think we're going to use Narcissus anyway. Yeah, so we need 10 more encounters, which is maybe one more floor with you potentially just barely needing 2 to max rank that. As for what we want on this floor, yes, obviously we could go with one of these guys, but given how this is a run that has no fear on it, maybe we can be a little more aggressive, taking some things that we haven't taken as often, just for the sake of ranking things up. I would consider taking this to rank it up, or at least get closer to ranking it up, but I kind of want there to be as many rooms with enemies as possible in a way, despite this being a dangerous floor, of course, because I think by taking this, any room that doesn't have enemies in it is technically going to give you less gold, which is not really something we want to see at this stage. So, I don't know what we want. Is there anything that is at least remotely helpful that we would also like to rank up? Might have to be one of these guys. Who do we want to make an appearance? Need one? Yeah, Ares isn't a horrible idea. We could do this. Sure. I mean, or we could keep this, but I think we learned that after the timer ticks down for the hammer upgrade from it, it does not renew. It goes away permanently. So I think we would just be hammerless in that case. Let's take this. Oh, it does retroactively remove those things. Wait. Hold on. What did we lose just then? We lost the dash. We lost one other thing. We didn't lose you. Oh, we lost the remaining charges on this. Okay. That's kind of strange. Because this seems to still be active. So it's weird to me that some things get removed once you lose Fate's Whim. Other things do still persist. We did have a few rarifications remaining on this, I believe. And we had, at one point in time, thought that we had tested that, but it might have been with Selene, which turns out does not qualify as something that breaks Fate's Whim, surprisingly. So, okay, had I realized that, then maybe we wouldn't have taken the Sword Hilt after all, although again, maybe this is a good time to learn that. This is a decent time to pick this up as well. You know, better this than on a super high fear run where that's potentially run defining. Or, you know, run ruining. This is nice, yes. Maybe at this stage we're going to save our cash to see if we can buy any and everything in the super shop at the end, because that is not necessarily a given. We could sell this. I don't know how useful it really is. I was using the charge attack pretty consistently against Cerberus, but as I said, I was a little bit underwhelmed with how much, or really how little damage it was doing, and it's worth 300, which is a lot, but maybe we'll get by even without it, especially if we get one of the big gold rooms and we get that to give us the gold multiple times, then that's huge. That's still only 5. Okay. I was gonna say maybe that would change the math a little bit as well, even just little containers like that, but no, not much at least. And there is the guaranteed chaos room. That's kind of nifty to do that proactively as you're waiting for the next wave of enemies to spawn in. Kind of like that idea. Okay. Sword hilt immediately ranks up. That's nice.
Poppy flower seeds.
Sounded like you said puppy flower seeds. Okay, now I would normally like to go here. We could make up for the boon that we lost. We could potentially get the one that we just lost back again, but no, we paid for this. We'll go for it. Again, the Hades room, I don't know that it really would have given us anything that would help us long term. I mean, I guess those crafting resources we just got sort of fall into that category. We didn't know those were going to be here, but the Chaos boon, kind of similarly to Hades, doesn't really help us long term. Actually, there are some prophecies that we still need from Chaos, but they're all for the nasty stuff, which is not what we want to be taking right now. Legendary. The downside is not bad, and the upside is we get a Death Defiance, which probably is not necessary. So, I mean, yes, the upside, the benefit is technically quite big. It's just not that meaningful for us right now. Although, the downside is the best. So I might just take it for that reason. There's also that. Okay. Let us proceed. So I'm going to deliberately charge that up. And maybe do it again, even. Please don't dodge or block or anything like that when I'm using a move that takes forever to power up. Nope, don't do that. Oh dear. Yes, we no longer have the little bit of damage when we dash. What just happened with the sword hilt? It rarefied on the previous go around. Why did it just pop up like that? That's weird.
Gold coins.
Oh, I was like, yeah, we lost our dash boom. We are lightning fast still. That's because of the plasma. Okay, well, we're definitely gonna do this.
Let's go, you sack of filth.
Harsh words, but valid. Oh, that's bad. Ready this to get you more safely. Oh, this is nasty, that attack. Really nasty. Ooh, really nasty, yep. If you sneak up behind you like this, it's not so bad. I'm gonna do this. I really want to do the full attack combo. I really want to do that, though. Come on, get rid of the armor. Oh, really should do probably this more than anything. Oh my goodness, that was bad. Stop that. Should be stun lockable at this point. No, stop that. Screw that. There we go, okay. Almost turned into a really good one. Then it devolved a little bit toward the end there. But again, we technically do benefit from taking damage, like even after we haven't even lost that much, but we now have a 7.7% chance to do double damage, and that could be a lot higher if we were to take more damage.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, here, that's blocked. I think that's fine. Could finally get a cast boon, and we can rarefy because this is coming from you. It's not coming from the calling card. And we don't know that Ares is going to show up again later on. These are not really the boons that I would like to rarefy from him, but I might nonetheless, just because we are ensuring that we're at least getting some extra value out of the keepsake. Yeah, we should do that. Oh, and then I forgot to rarefy. Oops. So much for that. It's double boons, neither of which is Ares, but still. The potential gains from this room are significant nonetheless.
Mine.
Okay, let's go. I do have a lot of Poseidon boons, but there are a lot of sort of support resource gathering things, and less so on the direct damage dealing things. I don't know how much we really benefit from getting Poseidon first. Oh, and Hera when she's mad is horrible, so we're definitely taking her for that reason alone, if nothing else. Okay, that gets blocked. Might have been the thing that I would have wanted to have taken. Now we're just getting all the things that give us bonus damage for charge moves. Or we take this, we do have a lot of boon-giving gods and goddesses. However, this is also an Earth boon. If we do see Ares show up again and he gives us the infusion, at that point we are eligible for it, and it is big, so I think I will take it for that reason. Even if, in the immediate term, the other one was probably better.
Is that the way of it, young niece? I'm sure Queen Hera is most pleased with you, but I, for one, am not.
So, technically speaking, probably still the right move to go with the other option, but... Oh, I saw the visual effect from us using the charge abilities. Oops, that's Poseidon getting mad at us. From using the charge up ability boon that we just got from Hera. And it's the same visual as what happens if you make Hera mad. So at first I was like, what? No, that isn't what I took. I deliberately avoided that. And I was like, no, that's ours. That's us doing it. One moment. Okay, it is a little tricky to dodge these guys. I am missing the dash damage that we had before quite a bit. I was very much relying on that to a certain extent. Like that right there would have been very helpful to have had a little more damage. There we go. Okay. Took a while. We did end up taking some damage in the process, but it's okay.
With all of those half-bins. And just like that, my furies ebbed away as well.
Let's see. Ooh, we have 5. And more so, it's not so much that we have a lot of water boons. We have a decent number, but it's more so just that it gives us a chance to get even more max life, which I am very intrigued by. So, or we do even more charge base ability power up. Now we're taking this. Now we are mid 400s.
3 chambers left.
And we're definitely not gonna say there's 3 chambers left. We're gonna take this instead, because it can be duplicated, and this is one that we can benefit a lot from duplicating. Oh, that was bad. But that was 1,200 damage. I don't know if you saw it, just from a seemingly basic move. It was just a special. I mean, theoretically, the Hades dash that we had was not doing a ton of damage, yet for some reason it feels like we have way less damage now that we've lost it. So I know that shouldn't really be the case, yet nonetheless, it does feel like that. Please don't block stuff. I find it very rude when you block my skills. Also, if the trap could activate on you when you're standing right there, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay. really want this to duplicate, first, we can make it much more likely to duplicate. Now this is where, okay, it's late enough in the run, this is possibly the last chance for it to duplicate, so is it really worth investing in that? Probably not, to be honest. Even if I would like for this to proc right now. I might do it. Okay. The reason why I did it was because I didn't like the alternatives. So getting it to level up there, maybe we can still benefit from it in a future room, but if nothing else, it gives us more, not guaranteed, but a high probability of seeing boons that I'm more keen on upgrading. Like, I don't know. I mean, these are, of course, two of the main categories. And this is not going to be in effect for long against Chronos. Only 15% damage, that's a lot more. Yeah, wait, what? Why does this gain twice as much damage despite being higher level already? If anything, you'd expect it to gain less. There'd be more diminishing returns. Maybe it's because I still don't really know. Does the attack damage bonus here also apply to that 50 damage we get from the wounds? Is it really more than that? I guess we'll do this then.
Yes.
And you... Both of these would very likely be active, or would almost certainly be active for the Chronos fight, which is a little bit intriguing, although then again, there's very high probability it procs. We get the double. So, okay, maybe that's reason enough to feel like we can get a little aggressive here. I do, of course, given how much gold earning potential we have, I would like to be able to buy absolutely everything, including the optional crafting item from the super shop at the end. But I don't know. Could always be that we get a little too aggressive in some of the other rooms. And that's the difference maker. Do we have a cast? Oh, we do have a cast now. Okay. We went a very long time without one. Okay. So that's almost 700. And it does proc a second time, which means, yes, we are on almost 2,500 gold by the time we get to that super shop, because we still have a few more rooms. One would hope that we will, in fact, be there. Also, are we on net gaining plasma every room? We might be. Technically, I think this would be better for plasma because we're hitting the enemies more often. So if we really wanted to have as much plasma as possible going into the final fight, this is probably the way to do it. Also, letting the rat men actually create rats, dare I say. Hit just definitely helping as well. Making rats. This is a really long encounter. Wow. I mean, yes, I'm kind of artificially increasing the length of it deliberately. Still, I almost got hit by the trap as well. Now the rats are here, which again was almost deliberate in a way. It was, yeah, kind of deliberate.
Them, golly.
Now we are very speedy. How much do we keep going into the next room? We're on 74. Oh, okay, we don't need that much. It's a non-zero amount, yes, but it's still not that. Nice to do that. Wasn't really something that I was planning in advance, which is why it didn't happen, but still. Are. Okay, and then that's where the attack speed hammer upgrade that we got from the keepsake just went away, because, as we were saying, if we did optional rooms, that was likely to happen. Oh, this room is nasty. Fortunately, we do have extra damage at the beginning of the encounter. A lot of these are just little guys who are quick. It's not so much the damage itself that is the key as much as the windows in which to attack them, which means doing stuff like this might be more helpful. I tried to use the quicker attack and it still wasn't quick enough. Okay, and no more optional rooms, so we are going straight to the super shop. We did take some damage there, but we should be able to afford any healing if it is going to show up here. And at this point, with the amount of damage that we've taken, how much bonus damage? What is the probability of getting bonus damage? 15, almost 16%. So that's not. I mean, technically, we're gonna heal some of that off, yes, and lower the probability, but
I'm here. Reagent over there.
we have this. We can get the healing, and should be able to afford everything. Nice. Okay, no Ares, which unfortunately means that, yeah, I accidentally forgot to press the button on this one, so, oh well. We rarefied it, if nothing else, and we also guaranteed that he showed up.
In the name of Hades.
This, we do get 20% extra damage from you. That is nice. So I'm thinking we'll probably do that.
That was my boon.
And then here. Good in boss encounters. That could also be a 20% roughly damage boost. This, for non-boss encounters, is really useful. I think we saw a lower rarity version of it before. And we were saying, it kind of needs the extra value. Oh, wait. This also went away. Despite it still showing up here, we are not getting this bonus anymore. Okay, so I was mistaken in that case. I was under the impression that even if you take one of these later on, or I keepsake that it guarantees that a particular god or goddess is going to show up, that this would still remain, the bonus would still remain, because at the time that you took it, you had Fate Swim active. But we've either not taken any of these types of keepsakes before, or we took the ones that we thought we took that would have messed with the Fate Swim did not actually count in that regard. And Selene is the obvious one, but maybe there was one more on top of that, because I feel like there was one other time where I expected it to happen, that we would lose this, and it didn't happen. Maybe it was just Selene for you, and then for you it was not that we put something on to break Fate Swim, it was just that it carries over from one floor to the next as long as you still have Fate Swim, which is not quite the same thing, but just generally made me think that both of these guys are always active as long as you had Fate Swim at the time of choosing them. Okay, anyways, that's an aside. At this point, I think we are taking you, and then we can take you.
Olympus, I accept this message.
And, ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. Heat Rush, it's the dash. At the beginning of this run, that was common rarity. It is much stronger now. And then we can heal off the damage we took, and we can certainly still afford to get that as well. And that's an extra Charon card, which is also nice. Alright, and I think that means we're ready to go here. Fortunately, there were just enough rooms for us to benefit from these guys and still have them active for this boss fight. And obviously, we would have liked to have seen these still be active on this floor, but we learned that they don't quite work the way that we thought that they might. And we did get the extra Death Defiance from Chaos as well. Kind of forgot about that.
Kronos.
Especially Matt this time for some reason.
I must say, I'm quite unaccustomed to so many frequent visits from my kin. Perhaps if Hades and the others deigned to call as often, our relationships would not have been as strained.
So obviously now, in the final confrontation, we are once again looking at what, if anything, has changed, and do we like those improvements, or, you know, do they completely remedy the issues that there were before? Do they make improvements but still leave some things to be desired, or is it just exactly the same as before? And in this case, might be new.
Oh, this is not that sort of call. Though I didn't realize you were merely lonesome. Are your satyr worshippers not stimulating enough as house guests?
At first, I thought that he might have just been referring to how we have done numerous underworld runs in a row, haven't gone up to the surface for quite some time. But no, this is more plot-related, it seems, and is perhaps speaking more to reasons why we're mad at Kronos, why we think Kronos is a bad guy, which again, as I was saying for the past several runs, technically speaking, there isn't quite as much of that as you would expect there to be at this point. There's been plenty of time to establish just how evil Kronos is, but he hasn't really demonstrated that many horrible things to make us hate him as much as it would seem based on how Malinui is dead set on destroying him.
They are worshippers, not kin. You are unfortunately caught in the midst of a dispute, and do not know the difference between having family around or not.
Because of you and this dispute of yours. And now you'll be destroyed for what you've done. Was it worth it?
I think that is new. And yes, I would like a little bit more. I would like a little more specifics. But I do like how, okay, we're getting this element of there's a dispute between Kronos and the other gods and goddesses. That's why they're mad at each other. Now, of course, we'd like to know the details about this dispute to understand just how valid, just how believable, just how significant it really is, rather than just, you know, a basic description of it. But
Well, when you put it that way, no. Had I not made any mistakes, we would not be here now, would we? Certainly not as such vicious foes. Yet here we are, each in turn facing the consequences of the past.
in turn, Supergiant's favorite phrase. Okay, I thought it was going to start just after the previous Kronos line. A little surprised that he still had a little bit more to say there. Oh, recognize quicker benefit from our bonus damage. Heck, try that. Sloppy. And that too. Wow, that's bad. Partly the slowness of the axe, but partly just sloppy positioning on my part. That guy not quite being dead. Don't stand there.
Arrogant child.
Or there. That's better. Oh. Usually if you don't move, you're safe from that. But unfortunately I was positioned in such a way that she was able to hit me immediately. Probably overkill anyway. Shooting off most of the damage from it. It's a sizable chunk. Nope, don't stand there. I don't actually know if I was in his time freezy circle. I guess not. I was cutting it close. Oops, that was bad. Okay, you can obviously attack multiple times. Be wary of that now. 1, 2. Only 2. I knew it was coming, but again, deliberately tried not to move and was just hoping that I was standing at the right angle. To be safe from that. Apparently I was not, though. But again, taking damage actually makes us stronger, so it's okay. I don't really know that we can do much while he's doing this. No hexes to punish him with or anything like that. That was two things that were kind of bad. Didn't get punished by getting close, unfortunately. Yeah, our burst damage is quite good. I knew that was coming too. And yet, oh my goodness. The way that the axe forces you to run up, attack even when you should have enough range to hit him without moving forward, is a little frustrating. You do have a lot of speed though from the plasma. It is nice. Oh, I did not realize that was there at first. Technically, more ways to farm the plasma. Okay, that's not ideal. I just barely was not in that. That's annoying. That's incredibly annoying on several levels. I was not sure if I was hitting it. I was on the edge of the circle, and I got frozen. I was deliberately trying not to hit it at first, because I knew it was going to freeze me if I did take it out, but... Grand scheme of things, I think we're going to be fine here regardless, but those are the kinds of issues that on other runs could be the difference between winning and losing. Nope, okay. Almost got stuck there. Oh, yeah, he usually does have that lineup such that he can still hit us there even if we... Our probability of doing double damage at this point should be very high. And we get stronger by taking more damage. We're actually fast enough now with all the plasma as well. It's hard to be precise with the positioning for that part. But there we go. A little sloppy, but we'll take it.
Certainly a treat, granddaughter. Again tomorrow night, perhaps.
Oh?
Perhaps. So tell me, Titan, is this what having family about is like? Bitter feuds and snide remarks?
Oh, yes. This is the whole of it. I may have denied it to you, but I was doing you a favor. You shall see.
Okay.
You shall see.
So I do like where that's going. Theoretically. I like
What did I tell you?
all the stuff that is suggesting the reason for Kronos being a bad guy and why he trapped everyone in the first place was because there was some kind of big dispute between him and the family. And one could argue that that has always been the case, since the whole mythology is that, yeah, there was a war between the Titans and the gods, and we've talked about it many times before. He got sliced up into a billion pieces and thrown into the deepest depths of Tartarus. But we don't really know what happened this time around, besides him just healing himself and that previous feud being renewed. So it would still be nice to get some details about, okay, was there some big thing that happened this time that was the cause, the catalyst that set all these events in motion? So I'm hoping that it's building up toward that. And if it is, then that'd be a great addition. But it's just the starting points here, so it's too early to say. Definitively, at least. It seems like it's headed in a good direction, but we don't know just yet.
Brother. To the abyss of the subconscious I descend.
So I do think, more or less, that whole conversation with Kronos was new, which does make me wonder if this whole conversation with Zagreus is going to be new as well. May or may not be the case.
Now, night and darkness, guide me to my blood beyond the grasp of time.
Obviously, to a certain extent, if they've added more runs that you need to do to reach the true ending, then you're going to have to add stuff both with Kronos and with Zagreus. It's just, are those things aligned? So new Kronos lines always correlates to new Zagreus lines, or are they staggered a little bit at times when the new stuff shows up? Shuffled around.
Come on, where is she? Where is she? Don't leave me hanging like this, sister. Come on. I want to get some proper sleep eventually.
I think we've heard that little comment as well.
Hey, Gagaros, my father's spear. You said we would need a weapon that's available in both our times, is close to our family, and not been used to slay Kronos before. That one should do. It's big, and it hurts.
So yeah, we've definitely heard Zagreus propose this in the past. And I think, the previous conversation with Zagreus was more or less the same, if I remember correctly. So, seems like not a lot of new stuff here, building up toward identifying Gagaros, Hades' spear, as being the key. And yeah, there were a little bit earlier on, there was maybe a tiny bit more to inch us in that direction, but it still kind of feels like that was too jumpy and few too many holes that, at least relative to what I would have liked to have seen. Especially when you consider, as we were talking about last time with a conversation with Hecate, there are definitely other conversations that just feel empty. Like there are more important things that could be discussed, or even if they're not necessarily important breakthroughs that are made, at least make it seem as though people are making a more concerted effort to make progress. Because when that stuff doesn't happen, then those are the missed opportunities, right? Obviously, you either, if you want to add more content to gradually build toward the true ending, then you either need to add more runs so that there are more opportunities to have those conversations, or you need to find places where you can either insert more into pre-existing conversations or replace old conversations that didn't do much and put in new conversations, new actions, what have you, that do make more of an impact when it comes to building up toward the conclusion.
I see how that may work. Unfortunately, I have no idea where to find this guy Garros. Kronos may have gotten hold of it, but that's in my time, while in yours.
Father doesn't often let me use it anyway, and it's sealed off in his chambers. There must be something else. Though at least I found the place where Kronos probably is piecing himself back together little by little.
Did he mention this last time? I don't think he did. I think this is actually his first time saying this, in this ending at least. And that is very nonchalant, very, I don't know if dismissive is quite the right word. That's a big deal, is what the point I'm trying to make. And so, for him to just mention that in passing is weird.
You did? Where? What happened? How do you know it's the correct location?
And so that, again, sort of falls under the territory of stuff that could be going further than it is. Or is framed in such a way that it just doesn't align well with how important things ought to be. The key thing there, the key other example there being at the end of the previous run, we had a conversation with Hecate in which she was just completely dismissive and basically overlooked any and all details, any and all important aspects of our mission, and it was just like, where on earth did this come from? It might have made some sense in the very first successful run or close to it, but at this stage when we should be really getting into the nitty-gritty details, trying to iron out the last few steps we need to execute our plan, for her to just not include any detail at all was alarming. And to actively say to Malinui, no, I don't want to hear those details, you already know everything, when we absolutely did not, that was just crazy. So it was, this conversation, that line that Zacharias just had, was not quite that alarming, but kind of in a similar vein, at least. So those sorts of things that just feel really misaligned. Fortunately, they aren't all over the place, but it's the kind of thing that just feels like you need to get that right. That stuff's really important.
Well, for one thing, it appears to be directly underneath this house. Odd place to bury one's predecessor, but Father can be quite particular with punishments. Anyway, when I descended deeper into Tartarus, I found a satyr infestation that led me to some sort of cave. I went no farther for now.
Good. And do not enter until everything's prepared. But let's go back a moment to our father's spear. Is there some way you could procure it?
Sure. Father keeps it locked away, though no security specialist of any worth would be so easily deterred. I'm risking an eternity of torment, but sounds like Kronos has that in store for me regardless. So, what shall I do with Gygaros, assuming I can get my hands on it?
Leave it here in your chambers for me to find. Could you persuade our father to give it to you, without letting him know exactly why? If we tamper too much with time, Kronos shall find out. I don't need its physical form, only its essence sent across our astral psychic gateway.
So, this, as I was mentioning before, I think, this is, if not exactly the same, almost exactly the same as a previous conversation we had in the original True Ending with Zagreus. So, we have heard this, on the other end, so we may have analyzed it to a certain extent already. However, we now, of course, have the full context of what the original True Ending was building toward, which we did not know at that point in time when we first heard this, and also we can compare to the other things that have been building toward it this time around. So even if it is not changed. The understanding that we have is different than what we had when we first experienced this. So this is another example of, where was it? How does Melinoe know, could you persuade our father to give it to you without letting him know exactly why? If we tamper too much with time, Kronos shall find out. I mean, maybe if you're being generous, you could argue that what with Kronos being Titan of Time, it's reasonable for anyone to assume that any sort of significant messing with time Kronos would know of. So maybe this isn't that crazy for Melinoe to just come up with that statement out of nowhere, but it's kind of borderline. Then I don't need its physical form, only its essence sent across our astral psychic gateway. That's too far. That's where on earth did you come up with that information? So it's just stuff like that. Stuff like that. We're back to the jumpiness coming out of nowhere.
Details, sister. I like unreasonable challenges, and Father owes me anyway. So use some sort of oracle gathering up ancient artifacts, speaking to me in dreams and such. Perhaps these count as nightmares, what with the terrible future to look forward to.
We'll change that future. And I'm no oracle, I'm what you call a witch. We're getting closer to our goal, brother. Claim Father's spear, and I have more to do myself. I'll see you again soon. From mists of memory, return to Shadow now.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, so there have been some improvements in various places and in various ways.
Be careful.
Which has helped, in some cases, to patch together the story to make it feel a little more cohesive in the build-up toward the new true ending. However, there are some things that can be more easily fixed by patching up the holes. There are other things that, if you still keep them in, do start to stand out as, in some cases, aberrations. In bad cases, of course, really bad cases, of course, more so with the Hecate conversation at the end of the previous run, or just unfortunate little things that are bad, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, with some of the things we were looking at this time around. Not quite egregiously bad, but still lackluster, sloppy, messy, whatever words you want to use to describe it, which is still subpar relative to what you would like to see, and relative to what we have seen with everything before the ending related stuff in Hades 2.
Got him again. But we're not finished yet, are we?
We are getting closer, though. We can't brood. Also, theoretically, there's no important conversation to be had with
Let's
you.
have a look around.
No new prophecies. Nothing new to talk about with Moros. There is trash to pick up. And there is a conversation to be had with you. How many is that?
Not seen you topside in a while, babe. I didn't want to say anything, but it's starting to feel a little personal, you know?
Yeah, so this is what I thought that Kronos was saying at the start of our fight with him. Something along these lines, because it's been a bunch of Underworld runs in a row now.
Eris, have you considered the possibility that when I pursue my task within the Underworld, you could not be further from my mind?
Ouch.
That's what they all say. You know what I think? You're afraid. Not just to face me, but to face your feelings. Fine, go run away into the Underworld some more.
Why do I speak to you?
You need to hurt us both.
I am curious, because we were gifting some stuff to her recently, and we're getting close to being able to spend time with her. It would be kind of funny if we were immediately to spend time with her after having had that conversation. But we have enough of this to spare. We can gift a little more.
Right when you trotted over to me here, I wish you'd bring another nectar since I'm out. And lo and behold, it's like you're a mind reader. Or a dream weaver.
Advanced techniques I haven't mastered yet. Besides, pure intuition still is our most powerful tool in cases such as this. I simply had a feeling you were up for another bottle.
Way to make it sound like I'm some big experiment for you. Keep poking and prodding and eventually you'll get through my defenses and see the real me. Well, this is it. And you know what? I don't want your nectar anymore.
Oh?
Including the one I just gave you?
No, I'll keep that one.
I was gonna say, is she actually gonna give it back to us? That has happened to us before. But, nope. She's still gonna hold on to it. Okay, nothing new here.
You're here, Lord Charon.
Oh, hello, Charon. Except I guess we could talk to you, yes, even though you don't have an exclamation point above your head. Hey, to you,
Lord
too.
Charon always delivers.
Also, okay, that was a nightmare shipment. We have 4. I think I was counting up recently and I saw we need 5 nightmare total, which means if we were to buy 1 nightmare here, which we can do, that would be enough, at least for maxing out all the weapon aspects. I think the only one we have left is the aspect of Anubis, which, at least initially, we were not big fans of, so probably not a coincidence that is the last one left. But if we get you, that's just enough for all that stuff. Yeah, sure, there's still nightmare to be had to upgrade or at least get more options for the familiar skins, but not really all that concerned about that. What I am more interested in that case is using this as an opportunity to get more moon dust, because we are still looking to upgrade the last few Arcana cards.
Wait.
Which we do have some moon dust right now, so there's a chance we can already make good progress on that front, but we'll have to see. Surely Hecate has something to say after that run.
Concerning your companion Arachne and her curse.
Oh?
Against my better judgment, I've done some searching and have knowledge of the one who fashioned the poison.
Okay, so that's big. This conversation is big, but not for the reason I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be more along the lines of building up toward the true ending, but we are looking to progress this subplot line / side quest with Arachne. I did not really think Hecate was going to be the one to progress it further, though.
You have. Excellent. Thank you, Headmistress. Who did you learn was responsible?
And our guess was either... Oh, wait. My previous guess, which was from, what, the last run or the run before that, I was saying maybe Circe or Medea. I mean, those are the main other sorceresses that we encounter in Hades 2. And Circe in particular, although seemingly quite nice, does, I think, have a bit of a history of transforming people. Medea seems a little meaner and maybe more likely to curse someone like that. But there is one other sorceress that I did not mention at that point in time. And the fact that we are having this conversation with Hecate does perhaps lead one to think maybe it's her.
That matter is solely between me and the spider.
Yup.
Utmost discretion is required in such matters. If you wish to be an intermediary still, then let her know to seek me here.
Okay. It seems like it is Hecate.
Yes, Headmistress.
That's news. Okay, and not news that I expected. Don't know that there's anything for us to do here. Yeah, we could also use this to get more moon dust, although I'd be kind of curious to see how close we are to being already at the number we're looking for.
Of the underworld. You be wary of the sorts you meet out there, all right? You find a live one gives you any trouble, you know where to hit them where it hurts.
I most certainly do.
Okay, it's a pretty generic conversation there.
Come along.
That's a lot of stuff.
Hi, Melly.
Hello. One moment while we plant some seeds. Oh, crowded over here.
And thrive.
Didn't realize it was a party.
A new crop.
Okay. Let's see what these guys are up to.
May moonlight guide you.
Do you have any idea how far down you have to go to get to Tartarus? Cause of death? Oh no. Falling?
All clear.
I thought there's one other thing. Oh, I was just wondering if now that we've planted those seeds, is there anyone we might be looking to spend time with? Maybe we gift to Hecate. We've been trying to progress her relationship more as of late. Might not be spending time, but nonetheless.
I said you needn't curry favor with me thus. I shall take this bottle nonetheless. if but to penalize you for not offering it up instead to someone more deserving of your affection.
She's like, just stop trying to bribe me.
I can think of no one else I would rather have this than you, Headmistress. You've made me the goddess I am, and not a night goes by that I'm not grateful for it.
How often must I say I'm not your mother, Milinui?
Oh.
You needn't lavish me with such unbridled praise. I raised you to destroy our common foe. You owe no gratitude to me.
You've often said what we intend and what we do are not the same. I know you're not my birth mother, so what? You've cared for me. That's more than enough.
I've used you, and I'm using you still. Can't you see that? I've attempted not to hide this fact from you, yet you turn it aside.
You have raised me in accordance with the promises you made to my father. He never asked you to coddle me, did he? Surely he wanted me to fend for myself.
And do you think you can? You remain under my auspices, take aid from Olympus. You're not as independent as I planned. And furthermore, I've inadvertently caused you to think I've made you better off.
I believe you have. I know no other way. It fills me with sorrow, knowing you feel undeserving of the love I have for you.
Set your sorrow well aside for now. I'll drink your nectar and enjoy it, if you please.
I would.
Wow. There's a lot of tension in that conversation there. I deliberately did not interrupt it, given the amount of tension that built up there, but yeah. Milinui... Milinui's like, accept my love! And Hecate's like, no, I'm using you. At least, sort of. And I'm trying to be transparent about that, but you're not seemingly acknowledging this. So we hadn't really heard that kind of thing before from Hecate. So that's an interesting dynamic, and I wonder, that's one of the longest and most insightful conversations we've had from gifting anything to people before. I mean, maybe, certainly at least for nectar, maybe to a certain extent, the times when we've spent time in other places with the more significant resources, the fishing pier, gone to the baths, or the taverna, then those ones, sure, those have generally been a little bit longer conversations, but still, even then, might be the most significant conversation we've had of this sort. I'm curious if that continues with Hecate.
Oh, you're up. I almost missed you. I was about to fly on back to Thessaly. Hope you rested well. Sounds like you had quite an eventful night.
It was productive, yes. Though if you're on assignment, I don't wish to keep you. We'll catch up some other time. Or were you waiting here for me?
Oh?
No, I mean, well, it's good to see you, yes, but I'm not late. I can make up the time during my flight, you know, air currents and the like. So, well, back to it for the both of us, then, hey?
Oh?
Back to it, yes.
He's nervous. We could gift to him. I mean, we do have a fair number of nectar. Not really sure. Oh, wait, hold on. What's this all about? Why do you have an exclamation point? This could be important. Or are you just snoozing?
I never could delve into the abyss of the subconscious with you, O Sleep. With my brother, the path was so clear. Well, we shall find another way.
Okay, I think we did hear that in the original build-up to the true ending. And it seemed then, when we didn't know how the true ending was going to play out, that there was going to be a more significant component based around Hypnos and the whole sleeping aspect. Yes, I guess the whole dreaming in order to communicate with Zagreus, that is important, and that does tie into how the true ending plays out, but it's kind of just a medium by which to, or through which to communicate with Zagreus, and we just show up and we can immediately do it. It's not like we need to first figure out how to communicate through our sleep with him, and we can only do that by learning through Hypnos or something like that. It just kind of happens automatically. So from a gameplay, I don't even know if that necessarily really needs to be gameplay that happen. That it doesn't necessarily need to happen through gameplay, and I'm not sure that necessarily qualifies as gameplay, but my point is that even if technically there's a tiny bit of sleep that is used to build up toward the true ending, it's not like sleep is a critical way in which we actually directly defeat Kronos. It seemed like it was going to be one of the keys to our plan to permanently defeat him, and that is not really the case outside of, again, just being a way for us to more easily communicate with our co-conspirators. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially given how much of an afterthought it really is. Okay. Anything from Skelly?
When you can join us here.
I try not to dwell on what shall happen if and when all this is finally over, Commander. I know I ought to be completely focused on the task, but as we near a potential end, I cannot help but think ahead.
Right, so these are the kinds of conversations that I, again, would be hoping we would hear more about. A little surprising that it's coming from Skelly. There's a chance we have heard this before, but more so would expect this to be coming from Hecate. This, as we've talked about before, is basically along the lines of, hey, if we permanently destroy time, what happens? Which is a very relevant question, and yet, for the most part, it's kind of just been mentioned in passing and or brushed aside completely.
Well, stop it. How many times have I told you, never think ahead, kiddo? No good is ever gonna come of that. The here and now is all that counts.
Because there have been a lot of times where we've touched upon important concepts in conversations, and then almost immediately afterward, the person we're talking to shoots down the conversation. This being one example, the previous run with Hecate at the end, we've referenced it many times because of how bad it was in so many ways. That's just not good writing.
You're truly saying one should never plan, but you're a commander. Anticipation and strategy are integral to martial leadership.
Like, yes, IRL, there's absolutely a case to be made for saying that in moments of intense pressure, when one can succumb to that pressure or get distracted or what have you, in sports, for example, it's a very relevant and valid thing to say that, hey, just be in the moment, don't think too far ahead. But when we need to be planning long term and it's not all about here and the now, then okay, that's kind of just bad advice. Because you are just saying don't plan for what is the single most important thing that would ever happen in the history of Greek mythology in the case of permanently destroying time. So stop brushing these things aside.
If you're always doing good right now, you're always doing good later. That's all there is to it. Now quit with your worrying.
Okay.
That is something you have very reasonable reason to be worried about. So we should give it thought.
I'm pleased to see you made it here.
So, stuff like that. I mean, it's not a huge deal in that case. It doesn't stand out quite as much as the previous conversation with Hecate did, but there are enough of those things that still exist. Again, I think that one did exist before, but it just, even if they've added more things to improve the new true ending, there are still some moments that maybe the game would be better if those conversations just got removed altogether, or you find some other completely unrelated thing to talk about. Like, this is Skelly we just spoke with. He doesn't necessarily need to be someone who's talking as much about the main plot line. He's kind of a comic relief character. You can just have him talk about silly stuff, and that probably would be better than instead actively shooting down critically important conversations. And, again, you can leave those critically important conversations for the likes of Hecate, maybe Hades, although technically he's more often than not optional to encounter, so that's a little bit tricky. And Zagreus, obviously. Other people who are always going to be here, so they're harder to miss accidentally, and generally have been more directly involved the major plot points. But either way, it's another successful run here. That means we are drawing quite close to reaching that new true ending. But thank you all for watching. Do need to wrap things up here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.